Hello, welcome to another session of Secrets of the Cinema. And today we are going to talk about Decalogue 9, which is based on the commandment that thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. And it relates to sex, jealousy, and faithfulness, and sanctity of contentment. Being happy with what you have and what you cannot have.
Uh, this commandment actually treads the line between perhaps need and desire. I mean, whether what we have and what we really want. And suppose our needs are uh, jeopardized, and what would a person do at such a point of time?
So
Uh,
the story is about this couple who are very much in love. The guy seems to be sterile or has
yes,
erectile dysfunction, if
yes.
I'm not wrong. Yeah. So he cannot perform
So
in bed
he can't have sex anymore.
exactly and cannot satisfy
His wife.
his wife. So, but he does. The wife is really beautiful and very young, so he wants her to have a kid so that the family is tied up. I mean, that is what he thinks he wants, and he asks her to go out of the marriage and get a kid, or and uh, just don't not
It,
let him know.
so the guy feels he doesn't deserve her anymore because he is found to be sterile and cannot fulfill all her physical needs. So he tells her that you can go find a lover if you haven't yet, and you can. And then when they were sleeping, he sort of reveals, he sort of asks her whether you want to have a kid. So maybe he's just trying to hold
Keep
on to the last dredges of the relationship, maybe which is going to break down. Uh, so it here we are shown that the wife gets a call from
yeah. Before
someone else.
that,
Yeah.
she asks him, I mean, do you love me? Because love isn't, uh, I mean,
Love
love
is
is in
not
one
just panting in bed for 5 minutes once a week.
week, or love is in one's heart and not between the legs.
Yes.
So that is something very intense, she says. And I mean, it makes us look like she's really faithful, and probably this can work out between them. But that is not the case. So he gets I mean, there's a call in their house, and when he talks, uh, the guy doesn't respond, and he becomes suspicious about
Yeah.
his wife.
And the wife calls him back, and they said they're gonna meet up somewhere. So the sterile guy's suspicions grow, and it- it's like he's not able to come to terms with the fact that his wife is having a lover, but he's not able to do anything because he's important or
Maybe
yeah.
because she mentioned before that the things that we have are more important than the things we don't. Okay,
Okay.
but he was the one who encouraged her to see
Yes.
other people, but now not so much.
And there is this guy, the sterile guy is a doctor, and
There's a patient.
yes,
The dilemma with the patient is
she's a singer, and she has to undergo some operation to for her to continue singing. But she feels the operation is necessary only to want her to live.
hmm.
For her, living is enough, and
But her mother wants her a better life
yeah,
and everything that she can get with her own potential. But I mean, she's just, I guess, any other teenager
yeah,
who's happy with what she has. And I mean, it's shown as there is an attraction between
the both of them.
him and
Mm.
her.
And
So,
yeah,
yeah. So he goes around finding clues and
yes.
making a key so that he can actually follow. I don't know what he was trying to
So
do. He could just ask her and get rid of it.
yeah, so it was more like since he doesn't want to address the elephant in the room, he realizes that his wife is having an affair with someone else. and he doesn't have the courage to really talk to her, like find out for sure that whether she is having an affair. So he can call the relationship quits, but he doesn't garner the courage to go ask her
And it's kind of creepy because he actually sits while they
in the
make
cupboard.
love
Yeah,
outside. He can listen to it. He's just hurting himself more, but
yes.
I think it's
I mean, yeah,
humane.
and somehow she realizes that something is not right between them, and she's an air hostess, so she has to travel here and there. So, and when there was one clue which the other guy seems to have, uh, it was when she realizes that okay, I think the husband knows about this, so she calls the other guy, and they have a conversation that, like, we have to stop this.
And she wanted to end it.
And this was when he was sitting in the cupboard.
Yeah, I mean, he was hiding there, and they both realize. I mean, she gets to know that he was hiding, watching them do
Yeah.
whatever, and then they talk about it, and they decide to be fine with it. But now that he has heard them having making love,
Yeah.
he cannot stand her, and he wanted to take a break.
Yes.
So she says that okay, you take your time, but I'm going to do go and adopt a kid so that this works out.
Yes. So they are
And
trying to give themselves some space.
yeah, and the lover, the man is being supportive about it, but there arises another suspicion
Yeah.
when he sees the other guy, the new lover, going to the
Going
same
to same
place
place.
where she went.
Yeah.
So now
So this
she's
raises some sort of misunderstanding
I
between the
mean,
both of them.
that was it. I mean, that was he couldn't bear it anymore.
Yeah.
So we have seen that he cycles. Whenever he's angry, he gets it out by cycling,
Yes.
and so he goes. I mean, he ends up actually hurting himself, and the god appears
As a cyclist,
as
as
a
a
cyclist here,
yeah.
who's watching. So the husband is cycling, angry, and when he's just about to I mean, have an accident, and we see God looking at him, but he has an accident anyway.
He had written down a letter to his wife saying that this is the end. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to commit suicide or something like that. And this is when the wife sees the other guy in the place where she is visiting. So they realize that okay, now that something will go really wrong. So she comes back immediately. She starts traveling to Warsaw,
Exactly. So
and
just to make sure that, I mean, he knows that nothing happened between them,
yes,
like after the confession.
yeah.
So
So
she comes back.
she comes back, and she starts crying, and he was not to be found anywhere. And he calls her from the hospital. So this is where they reconcile, saying that I mean, they cannot be separated.
Yeah.
They
And
had become inseparable, whatever be the defects in between them.
yeah. So the whole commandment, I mean, first of all, these two stories, the eighth one and ninth one, they had a happy ending, kind of.
Yes.
Usually, decalogues do not have uh, happy endings. So this was really nice. Though the commandment is about neighbor's wife,
Yeah.
okay, here we see that he's actually coveting on his own wife.
I would like to just say something here. Okay, it's like the man was pushed to a corner. He was found to be incapable physically. So maybe that was, and his possessiveness grew on from there. Because it's not like he didn't realize the importance of his wife when he was okay and she was still around. But he came to realize that she's not going to be. I mean, he doesn't deserve her, and he's not going to be around. So that actually maybe that turned into rage and jealousy for her. So anyone would do it. I'm talking about the man, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe the wife didn't want to go with another guy because even she felt that they were inseparable because they were in love before, and they wanted to sustain the relationship. So yeah, you had to say something.
No, nothing. I guess, and there are these images in which, I mean, the petrol pump. Did you
Yeah,
mention? See, I
that
mean, they have put it very subtly inside. I mean, it basically is in the form of
it was many things happen. I mean, even the man talking to the singer. She was quite attractive, and every time something of this happens, it's more like, he's being enraged by self guilt. We can
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, and he's embarrassed about it.
Yes.
So it's very,
So
smart
what
of
would
him
one do?
to.
What should one do if something of, if a real in a real life situation, what should one do? I mean, it's if this is not about soiling of the commandment exactly. I mean, if someone is found to be incapable and let us say not able to fulfill physical desires and not have a kid, maybe if the priority was having a kid, then okay, let us say that is a more serious call to make.
Yeah.
If let us say physical desires can be sacrificed with
Mm.
to just be with a person who will take who loves you.
Mm.
So what would one do? What is right and what is wrong? I mean,
I mean, I can't really answer this. Of course,
yes,
it's a big dilemma, but I don't know if you think in his like the perspective of the man.
yes,
It seems that they should have tried something out. Maybe the kid would help. They should have thought it before she got, in the affair
yeah,
outside the marriage. So I guess these two, I mean, I don't know what happens later. Maybe it creeped up again, but I think the Decalogue series ends there for
yes.
us. The scamp, the 10th episode is not really.
It's more of a comedy, so we
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
There's
and we wouldn't want to do that because Decalogue is supposed to be very serious, and
yes.
that is what we like about it. So, thank you so much for
Thank
watching
you.
us.